what about your views about India? And after a very long gap, the Pakistan cricket team is going to travel to India later this month, and I believe you were invited as well.
I think that India and Pakistan both of them have to realize that the dividends of peace are enormous, and the way we have viewed each other so far, in our 65-year history, it is no longer, the world has moved on, and we have to learn from it. So we have to now have a relationship based on trust. We have a major issue, Kashmir, but so have other countries' issues. So Kashmir should be solved on the table, dialogue. And from what I gather, because I have 3 ex-foreign ministers in my party, from them I gather that we came actually pretty close at one stage. The 2 governments actually, and through back channel contacts, came very close to resolving the issue. So I'm very optimistic. I think that's the way to go about it. I think if we make the populations of both countries realize that, come what may, there is a solution there. But the solution doesn't lie in militancy or military means. It lies in, civilized countries resolving their disputes through dialogue. And at the same time, open up trade, which would be enormously beneficial to the 2 countries. And ease visa restrictions, make it easy for people to, the stronger the people-to-people contact, the better it will be to get rid of animosity that comes out of ignorance, so that people can, you can build up hate against each other very easily if there's no contact. And the, example we should look for is Europe, where the Europeans killed millions and millions of each other, and yet today they have open borders and the benefits of trade.
They say that Western interests exist on both sides, and we know they do. And in Pakistan, one of the biggest entrenched player is the army, the military. Well, are you confident the military will listen to you?
I think if you have a government with public mandate, which has moral authority, in other words, which can deliver to the people, which is strong enough. We have seen in Turkey that the army played exactly the same role as in Pakistan. They too hung a prime minister, the Turkish army. They too interfered as many times as the army interfered in Pakistan. And yet a prime minister with moral authority, public mandate, providing good governance to his people, actually put the army back in its constitutional role. Same will happen in Pakistan, because I think even in the army there's a realization now that things can't go on as they have been. And I think the army already has shown that even if the situation deteriorates as much as it has right now, the army did not interfere. I mean, normally, in current situation, the army would have walked in. I mean, there's total lawlessness in Pakistan right now. In Karachi, every day, 10, 15 people die of target killing, terrorism. Whole of Balochistan is on fire. The entire FATA is the people dying every day. There's no governance, there's no electricity, massive corruption, inflation, unemployment. The people would celebrate in the streets if the army came in, but the army didn't, because I think army also realizes that it does not have the answer to Pakistan's problem. Only better democracy is the answer. So I don't think the army, I think given where Pakistan is today, I think everyone realizes within the country that we have to run Pakistan as it's never been run before. And one of them is our foreign policy, that we've got to change our foreign policy, whether it is to Afghanistan, with India, with the US.
Yes, you're described as America's most important non-NATO ally. And yet you've been taking on the Americans yourself in public platforms.
By saying that, we should not be involved in America's war, doesn't mean you're anti-American. It means that this is the most idiotic, the most foolish war ever fought. A war without any aims. It has achieved nothing. It's killed hundreds and thousands of people, trillions of dollars spent. And what has it achieved? I mean, there should be some sort of accountability of the people who've waged this awful war, except for the industrial military complex. Who has made money out of this war? The people of America have lost out. Afghanistan has been devastated. Iraq has been devastated. Pakistan has been devastated. And what are the aims? I don't even know what victory is. What is victory in Afghanistan? So now if they're leaving in 2014...
Just as you are electing a new government in Pakistan, yes.
I want to know, what have they achieved in Afghanistan? If today they want to talk to Taliban, who don't want to talk to them, by the way? They want to talk to them, they are not willing to talk. Then they're saying first leave and then we'll talk. So so I've opposed this, and maybe because I understood this region better than others. I understood Afghanistan. But certainly Pakistan's tribal area, I'm the only politician who went there, who had written a book 20 years ago, and who knew that this was the biggest mistake Pakistan was making, sending its troops into the tribal area. So therefore it was the blind leading the blind. We ended up in this war where 50,000 Pakistanis are dead, every day more dying. There's more radicalization and extremism in Pakistan than ever in our history. So what have we achieved with this? So by opposing the war doesn't mean you're anti-American. In fact, anyone who tells Americans that they should be in this war is anti-American, is not a friend of the US. A friend would advise a friend that, look, don't make this blunder. Only stooges go along with whatever their masters order. So my relationship with the US would be of a friend, not a stooge. It would be of no aid. We don't want any aid. This aid has come at a huge cost to us. The total amount of dollars that have come in aid are less than 20 billion. Pakistan economy has lost over $70 billion in this war. So we should disengage, put our house in order, because Pakistan is imploding. The US will walk away. Pakistan could go down the tube if we keep going on as we are.
You think it could break up as a threat?
No, it could just descend into further chaos. And then anything can happen. Once you have chaos, anything can happen. But, I mean, we are heading towards chaos because of this war. The amount of money that we're losing, the economy is in a mess because of this war. We can't spend money on our human beings. We can't invest in their education or their health. This money is being diverted into this insane war. We don't know what victory is. The Americans don't know what victory is. We don't know what we are doing in our tribal areas.
Are you worried about the kind of way that China is shaping up? There's been political rumbling, competition. There's been protests. Democratic urges surfacing in China. It doesn't seem as stable as it used to be 5 years ago. What are your views?
But they are, I consider that growing pains. I mean, China has done something which no other nation in the history of mankind has ever done. It's pulled out 400 million out of poverty in the last 20 years. This is unprecedented in human history. So, I mean, that's really what I'm interested in. And I actually went to China, met the Communist Party, and tried to figure out how they've achieved this incredible thing. There are some things we can emulate there, not everything. I mean, they obviously, they have complete discipline. They have made huge decisions, which possibly we in Pakistan might not be able to do. But what they have done in the cities, how they've changed these huge cities now, and how they govern those cities, and their rural support programs, how they've lifted the rural population up. I mean, there's so much to learn from them. So China is going to be very important for us. But I think if India and Pakistan can normalize, I really do believe that it would be the best thing we could do for the poor of the subcontinent.